Aha! So, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to another scene for New Serum. Aha! I almost said the thing, but I didn't. So, New Serum, where we have Renee, the little babyest gangrel, off on her own, actually, for all that she has been warned. We can't even count how many times not to be out by her onesies. Uh, Swiftly following the previous club scene, Renee came home, got a look around, and realized that wherever Tootie went, it wasn't home. So while thankfully she has had the opportunity to take off the incredibly impractical dress and shoes, swap out to something she could swiftly throw on, so probably more like yoga pants and a t-shirt than like jeans or anything really well put together, some slip-on shoes. Um, Renee has rushed back out, jumped back in the car, gone across town to the Crow, and probably parked relatively near, what's it called? Theodore's? Or
Theodore's?
Theodore's. There we go. Theodore's. The jazz club. She's parked not too far away, but in the time it's taken her to get home and back, her search area has gotten significantly wider. And so it is that for the better part of the night, I don't know how long 2D spends with Dom, but I'm sure it is a good hour or better. Um, that Renee will be frantically, not so much visibly frantically at first, albeit as time goes on, perhaps more so, but with some frantic edge to it. Walking around, not bothering with open parking lots, not bothering with open spaces, well lit spaces, has been strolling through what amounts to the back alleys of the Crow, has been walking around phone in hand so that she can readily flick on the flashlight app as needed, probably fussing with her glasses constantly because in the little to no light, they're really not a lot of help. What little light there is creates glare. It's not been a good night. But she has been walking along and not loudly calling, but periodically, poking at her head around a corner and just kind of with fading hope has just been like, Tootie, are you down here? And when no answer comes after a pause, probably walks the alleys anyways, slips down between buildings, has probably paused more than once to lean on a dumpster and try to kind of catch her bearings as far as where she has walked and where she hasn't. But she's been at it a while. I mean, it's not like she's rolling in grime, but she's looking a little worn. She's definitely looking worried. And at the very least, still has her phone right up in her hand. Though she's minimalizing use of the flashlight to make the battery last as long as possible. Excuse me. And that is where we find Renee trudging and calling with fading hope for her misplaced housemate.
Eventually, through searching again, all under the guise of obfuscate, Tootie strides around the Crow, looking around for Renee. There's a few text messages to Renee's phone, but then again, she obviously re-obfuscates herself, so Renee begins to frantically look. There's no sign of her, until eventually, as Renee peers down one of the alleyways, right beside her, and she'll hear the click of the lighter as it comes on, and as Tootie's there smoking, just
She has, rest assured, any texts she got were responded to immediately for what little help that was. But yeah, let's just say after all that looking, and I imagine the few people she's seen have either just kind of slid around corners to be away from her because they don't want to be seen doing whatever they're doing, smoking whatever they're smoking. Who knows? She's been left alone. Thank everything. So when she pokes her head around a corner, and this time there's someone literally right there at the corner. There's a bit of a clicking noise. I imagine there's a bit of a glow as the cigarette comes up. And Renee jumps and squeaks in a very unladylike fashion. If only because at this point she's been looking kind of, out and away down the alley. She hasn't been paying too much mind to what's right up close because there hasn't been anything there. So there's a yelp and a jump and a readjustment of her glasses as she kind of goes, "Who's there? What? Goody?"
There's like a lingering silence as she'll see the glow as Tootie steps into the light, really. You want to be careful. Who knows who's around?
She just visibly deflates in relief, both that this is not a mugger and that she has found Tootie. The point where she ends up about half her previous height, looks about ready to just, drop all the way to the ground almost. Oh my god, Tootie, you scared me so bad.
It could have been anyone.
I guess so. Are you okay?
She just smiled at Renee, taking a drag.
So, you're okay?
It's still very loud.
Sorry.
But it's passing. To the point where now I just have questions. And I want answers.
Okay.
She start walking down one of the alleyways, very confident all of a sudden.
And Renee, casts a glance over her shoulder to where she thinks she left the car. Pretty sure it was that way, but I mean, Tootie's going this way, so she, there's a pause and then a couple quick steps as she hurries to break, slightly lessen the distance between them, and then drops to a more natural strolling gait.
Did you know about this? Did you know about this thing before?
What thing?
This supposed agreement between Toulouse and Victor Corfin. Did he brag about it to you?
No, I don't even know who the other guy is.
Victor Corfin is a member of Clan Tremere and a former friend of mine.
Oh, no. I didn't know until I was talking to him and he said there was something going on, and she kind of shakes her head as if, as if for all the world it's something that's already kind of slipped her mind just between everything else that's going on, as if she's having some effort calling it back up.
A contract from what Toulouse said, to pursue me between the two of them, as if I was some sort of piece of meat.
He said something, I guess, an agreement to not pursue you, I guess.
Because Victor apparently claimed, by the looks of things, from what Toulouse hinted at, that they both were chasing and had some sort of gentleman's agreement.
I mean, boys are stupid. What are you gonna do?
Is that what you really think?
I mean,
she takes a drag.
I mean, they could have done a lot worse. They could have agreed to a lot worse than one of them saying they'd step aside.
But do you believe them?
I don't know. I haven't seen a contract, but...
Does it not strike you as odd that someone would sign a contract?
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I don't even know what's weird anymore. Yeah, it's super weird, but for all I know, that's normal.
I see. She just keeps walking.
Please don't be mad at me, Tootie.
I'm not mad at you.
I kind of don't have real bearing on this. I don't know. I mean, I assume that's not normal. I hope it's not, but
You know, Duloc used to try and get people into binds like that. He even asked me to do it for Lily.
like what?
Private shows for him and his friends.
She, for lack of any better way of describing it, it's, you know, that motion a person makes when you can tell their skin is like just crawling? It's that.
So, couldn't you imagine what then? Could you imagine then when I hear contracts about pursuing?
Oh no, I can imagine. I just
Turns out Mr. Toulouse is as sleazy as they come. But I'm not mad. You see, he made one fatal flaw. She seems to just turn another alleyway. Again, she's moving fast.
I mean, admittedly, Renee is probably 90% focused on just keeping up and not losing sight of her again. Well, what's that?
She'll turn, take a few good measured steps. She hits around the corner and obfuscates.
And so, yeah, she comes around the corner and Tootie's gone, and just that weary sort of sigh. You can see
As
her again just kind of deflate.
from behind you, I am a hound and a knight of the city.
Jesus Christ, Tootie. There's a jolt, not a full jump this time, but a visible jolt.
I have earned station and reputation. I am the whip of Clan Malkavian.
Just a kind of a glance back.
And she'll lean forward. There's this weird menace to her. It's odd. It's not intimidating, it's this eeriness. And as much as I admire Godwinson, his court is no longer in effect, which means I'm just as equal as Toulouse is now.
I don't think I'm following very well, Tootie. She kind of edges a step away. Just because Tootie's got some real eerie shit going. And that menace is real.
She takes another drag. You see, I waited. And I waited a long time. I don't like waiting. She bites her lip. And you can hear the chatter of her teeth clacking together. She takes a drag. But I waited. When Slime Alone made his slithering comments and touches, I waited. I waited for Van Holden, and there's a sliver of a smile on her face. It's eerie. And I waited. And I'll wait for him.
And, let me check a thing. Oh. She will, it's tentative, but she finally kind of turns a bit, reaching back, and even Tootie will catch that flit of the eyes as she tries to again kind of get her bearings, because let's face it, even if she was really familiar with New Serum, trotting through alleys in the middle of the night is fucking disorienting.
Do you not
But
know where you are?
she still lifts a hand. We should go home.
Don't you know where you are, Renee?
Kind of lost track following you.
Oh, I know where I am.
There will be street signs as soon as I get out of the alley.
Oh, even I know where we are. I never forget, you see. All you have to do is just look. She'll kind of gesture with her hands.
Tiny bit of the tension edges off, and she kind of glances around for any really notable landmark.
Gone.
Looks back. Tootie, you don't need to hide from me or scare me again to make a point.
She'd stand up. You see her then like you hear her from the mouth of the other eye. Scaring you? How am I scaring you? I just know my way around. Even in the dark.
Don't really make a habit of walking around in alleys, Tootie.
Maybe she'd learn. I know every inch of this city and I never forget what it looks like.
Lucky I know how to get anywhere besides the campus and the hospital.
Well, then you should start learning, Renee. It's very important that you know and become familiar in the things around you.
I've gotten better with the streets, but why would I be trotting around in alleys?
Sometimes you have to stay in an alleyway.
And her lips kind of firm into a line. No, not me. I really don't.
Really?
There's no reason for me to hide in an alley.
That's when Tootie's like, I mean, you can see her sort of in the light. The cigarette's gone, and it's hard to see it. Even then, it's hard to see her.
It's one of those things that just kind of makes your eyes hurt a little the harder you try to look at it.
So eventually, she's right up by her cheek.
I imagine she'll be able to get there right as Renee is trying to keep an eye, but let's face it, her eyes aren't the best. The glasses are enough to make it, to correct it, but they're not the best. And trying to peer so hard in high contrast light and dark, she's probably kind of nudged them up with her fingers to pinch the bridge of her nose, kind of to relieve the pressure there.
Why did you tell Toulouse?
What, that you were mad?
Yes. Why did you talk about my business?
I just didn't want things to get out of hand. I figured if he knew you were mad, he wouldn't, I don't know, go talk to you in the middle of the dance floor or something.
And do you think I'm not able to control myself?
I don't think that.
And what did you think?
She kind of shrugs. I don't know. I guess I thought he knew that you were mad. But at least know there was something to apologize for.
Oh, I never got an apology. In fact, I more got an insult, if anything. As if it was all planned ahead.
By who? What do you think I was trying to do?
Oh, not you. I don't think that of you. You're too nervous to be. You're too nervous after the fact to be guilty of that.
Not the only reason?
Besides, I know you wouldn't hurt me. Would you?
She almost looked maybe a touch peeved for a second, but the last statement waves that off. It just kind of wisps off her. Oh, Tootie. You is literally the last thing I want to do. I didn't come out here, stumble around in dark alleys and trip over. She kind of kicks one, abandoned bottles to hurt you.
Sometimes you just have to check. She says she kind of walks around you but fades into the shadow, really. It's eerie. You know what I mean?
I thought we were like family.
Sometimes you just have to be sure. Just to make sure. They get so loud sometimes.
And again, it looks almost like she wants to be agitated, and it just takes that one phrase and it just slumps out of her.
But no, I don't think you are, and that's why I'm not mad at you. After all, we've all taken care of each other. Sometimes it just gets so loud your mind can't think properly.
I guess it does.
Do you not believe me?
She just kind of shrugs wearily. I told you before, I can't hear it. I don't think you're wrong. I don't think you're lying. I just can't hear it.
I see. And you don't feel disgusted by what Toulouse did?
I didn't get much chance to process what Toulouse did. I didn't stick around for an explanation.
No, you didn't. In fact, I didn't see you at all.
I assumed it was something private. I waited downstairs, and you avoided me.
I see.
I mean, did you want me to be there for that?
Did you want to be there?
For what all I know was some sort of old business. I don't know. No, I didn't want you guys to think I was intruding. I didn't want you to think I was trying to hear things I shouldn't. I just figured I'd give you guys a chance to make nice, and that's not how it went down.
And when he told you about the contract, how did you react?
I didn't know what to think. It's like being told there were giant spiders and shit. It's hard to process.
I see.
It's not a thing people just do.
No. No, it's not. But it doesn't matter anyway. I've waited. And I'll wait again. You don't need to worry.
I just don't want you to think badly of me.
I don't.
And at this point, she kind of offers out a hand, not in the same kind of stiff way or perhaps in a weird way that has some sort of subtext. It honestly, for more than anything, it looks like a kid reaching for the mother's hand, like looking for reassurance, not offering it and like reassure yourself by touching me, but for all the world, like she needs it.
Trudy's hand slowly entangles yours.
And yeah, there's a light pressure there. She almost immediately responds, not tightly grasping, not trapping the hand, but kind of reassuring herself, by holding on to it. I miss seeing you happy.
Oh, I'm happy. Just an old wound that likes to familiarize itself. But it doesn't matter now. Mr. Toulouse is going to learn what happens when you irk me. Don't worry. It won't be anything serious.
I really hope not, Tootie, because I really don't want it to get weird.
Why? Would you be forced to choose?
I don't know,
Interesting.
but I don't want to have to.
I see.
I don't know how serious all this stuff is. Like, I know clan is supposed to be a big deal and they're supposed to be your family. Like
What
a
have they
weird extended family, but I
and
barely
what
talk to mine.
have they done for you?
Not a lot.
I see.
Not nearly as much as you two have. I don't want it to get weird. I don't want to get, like, I don't know, pulled out of the house or something.
They could try. They'd have to know where I live first. And besides, I'd never ask you to choose. That's the difference between myself and them.
And I don't know that they would either. I mean, I think the only one that knows for sure is Dom. I'm staying with you guys.
She'll just chuckle. Toulouse was already asking.
Asking what?
He brought you with him like a trophy.
She shrugs.
He didn't come to talk to me himself. He sent you to come talk. Fetch me. If he was a man of honor, he would have come to me personally. But no, he used his trophy. Does that bother you?
And ironically, of all the things, she is kind of looking offside because there were sharp words exchanged, or at least a bit of a flare of temper after she left. So the thumb is just idly running on her hand.
Does that
She's
bother
holding
you?
it.
That he treated you like that?
I mean, the worst he treated me like was a kid.
Do you like being treated like that?
She again, it's this helpless shrug. I don't even know if I can be mad. You and others call me a child all the time.
There's a difference between calling someone a child in the grand scheme of things and talking down to them. And we explain why we call you that. We try to teach you, help you.
Yeah.
We never talk down to you.
No, you don't.
I would never do what Toulouse did to you. I don't see you as some trophy or lackey or child to throw around.
I know.
Then you need to start thinking.
Why does it have to be this complicated?
It's not. Think it's quite simple, really. In fact, it's the simplest thing as she comes to face you fully in the light now, the alleyway, taking both your hands. It's who do you value based on how they've treated you and how they've been, rather than what they assume.
I mean, it's an easy answer, but we already know that I don't know shit about what's going on, and I have no idea what Daisy can tell me to do. I have no idea. I guess she and Toulouse aren't too close, since she asked me to keep an eye on him, so kind of shrugs.
Then that should tell you everything you need to know about Monsieur Toulouse. You don't hurt him, you don't crush him, you don't do any of that. I'm not going to. I'm just going to watch.
Is it ever just normal?
It's normal with you.
It's normal at home.
Exactly.
Seems like every time we go out, anywhere, for any reason, shit just goes sideways.
Toulouse himself chose that.
Well, yeah, but it's not just Toulouse. It's what happened at the Gemini and what happened out on the beach and what happened. And I mean, I guess the Emerald Scorpion at large, really, but what happened there too. It just always goes sideways.
Things have been hectic, but it's how you make of them. From now on, just concentrate on when you get home, everything will be fine. But out here, she looks around the dark alleyways. Familiarize yourself with the dark, and you'll never be too scared ever again.
I mean, it's not that I'm scared of the dark, I just... sense of direction isn't what it could be. We're worried about the people in the dark. At least this isn't the worst side of town.
Familiarize yourself with the dark, and you'll never be scared again. No matter how loud it gets.
Yeah. Guess not.
Don't worry about Toulouse. You just be you. But don't give too much away to him anymore.
I barely saw him as it is.
The next time he offers to take you out as a trophy, tell him no, and see what happens. That's how you judge a person, when you tell them no.
I just thought it would have been fun.
Of course you did. That's not your fault. But now play a game. Tell him no and see what happens. You can still have your fun, Renee. Learn how to have your fun and keep yourself safe.
What, just always hang out with you?
No.
Zergred.
No. But learn how to guard yourself against certain things. Not be duped by the grandeur and splendor of it all.
I haven't seen the grandeur and splendor except for the one Elysium and the... Those go tits up too.
I don't think you want to listen to me, so let's go find the car.
Oh, I'm listening. It's just...
You're not. So just give her a pat. She'll look over her shoulder. You want to apply logic to it all and solve it all. And apply your understanding. Sometimes you have to open your mind up to other things that your understanding needs to expand.
Yeah, but I really don't want to just accept the world shit.
Who said anything about accepting it? It's more about understanding it. That's not acceptance.
I mean, don't you have to accept that something's a fact to understand it, to really grasp it.
Depends. All I'm saying is you need to stop trying to hide from it all. Otherwise, you'll be a child forever in some people's eyes.
I mean, proof positive I could be worse things. I could be an asshole, make contracts involving people's lives and choices.
But yet you choose to go out and not have an opinion on one such man who took you out like a trophy.
He just asked me to come out to a club with him. Everyone does that. Luke's done that. I'm pretty sure he's gay.
But there's a difference. Spot the difference, and you're learning.
Yeah.
You turn the corner. There it is.
That was in the car?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Thank you, Tootie.
I told you. Familiarize yourself with everywhere. That way you're never taken surprise ever again. But we'll see if you listen. Just shrug.
How am I gonna do that if I'm not even supposed to go out alone?
She just kind of rubs her forehead. You know what, Renee? I'm not going to contest it with you at this point.
It was an honest question. I'm game to try. I'm just kind of at a loss. Sorry, it's been out here a hot minute, okay? Stressed out. I was scared. I was really worried I wasn't gonna find you before the sun came up.
Stares at you, just nods.
And yeah, I saw some shit from Toulouse I just didn't expect to see, I guess.
What did he do?
He didn't do anything too bad. He was just mad.
What did he do?
Just kind of, snapped at me. Wasn't really a big thing. He didn't say anything super nasty. He was just mad.
Mad that he didn't get his own way. To be fair, I did slap him.
Really?
That gestured hand, like the proper backhand motion.
Oh my god. No wonder
He
he was
deserved. He deserved it. I'd do it again if he tried to talk to me.
mad.
She just smiles at Renee slightly, like there is a smirk on her face.
She just got that incredulous look, like I believe every word of it, but oh god.
The look on his face, it was priceless. I've had a few bad nights. But don't forget, I'm still me. I won't let anyone treat me like that.
You shouldn't.
Nor should you.
Thankfully, they don't seem to have much interest in it. But I'll keep my eyes open.
Perhaps I might teach you how to hit someone properly when we get home.
Yeah, why not? Fuck it.
I'm sorry I flustered you.
I mean, you seemed pretty flustered yourself, so
It got too loud.
yeah.
I did the smart thing and got away. Took some time. Realized a few things. Listened to Madonna.
Kind of blinks at the last bit.
Smirks. Vogue.
Does Madonna help? Is that a thing now?
Well, I also rang Dom and we chatted about Desperate Housewife for a while.
Sounds pretty cool, people.
My partner. Do me a favor then.
Hmm?
If you want to play a game with me the next time we're out.
Does the game involve you jump scaring the hell out of me?
No. She'll lean in. The next time we see Allie, see how many times you can make her mad.
I already want to do that.
Yeah, you do.
Still can't believe her.
Well then, you don't have to be all, she like hold up her hands like, ugh. You just have to learn how to pick and choose your fights. Now, thankfully, if this was the street where Dom and I grew up, I would have headbutted her. But I can't do that. So, pick your battles.
Well, I imagine that a headbutt would leave me with broken glasses, so you know what? You're right. I will. Oh, God. No, I already think she's something.
Well, don't obviously show it. But if you get the opportunity, take it.
I mean, I may or may not have already yelled at her.
Oh, don't yell. That shows that you're mad.
That horse has already left the barn. I don't.
Oh, well, that's fine. But next time, she like grabs both your cheeks and just pulls you up to a smile. Remember, who the fuck is she, and who the fuck are you?
It's really hard to play a game of who the fuck am I? She's grinning for what it's worth. She's just like, forever bemused.
Is it?
I mean, because in the long run, who am I even?
And who the fuck is she? So you just make yourself bigger, badder than she is. People take notice.
Oh boy.
You don't have to be arrogant, but just don't take any shit off her. I won't be. Because you know who the fuck am I?
You are unapologetically you.
Be unapologetic. You wink.
Yeah, I think I can at least be that.
There you go then. She puts her arm around you. Now let's get home before Delarus loses his mind.
That's a thought. It's definitely a thought.
How about we keep this between you and me?
Like every conversation I ever have, it seems like. Don't you worry.
Delarus gets a bit too protective, and I like to have my fun.
Oh, it's good.
So we can have fun together. She opens the car door for you.
Oh, well then. She hop in because I mean, fuck it. Why not?
She jumps in the passenger seat. You know what she puts on.
God damn it. Oh no. Oh god.
She turned over. She's like, what? Dom and I hype ourselves up to this the entire time.
This is what you use for hype? There's just kind of a pause and a stare at the radio.
Turns and looks at her. She does the Vogue pose. Vogue.
You know what? I'm not even... Nope. It makes perfect sense now. I do need to find him sometime soon. I finally thought of an insult worthy. Or at least one he might not have heard before.
If you catch us on Tuesdays, you'll hear me talking to him.
Yeah?
Desperate Housewives.
Does that mean I need to be watching Desperate Housewives just to stay in the loop?
Desperate Housewives is an amazing show, Renee. She says this in the most serious voice.
Well then. I was not aware.
Get aware. She says, you know, lighting a cigarette.
There's a firm nod and she'll start up the car. Yep. Gotcha. Okay. Desperate Housewives. Vogue.
Tootie Moxie snaps like, bam.
And there will be another pause as she just looks at her radio. Just looks at it like, why would you do this to me? And shrugs. And goes ahead and pulls out and heads for home. She will do some mild detouring just because at this point between Delarose and Tootie, she's gotten in the habit, not just beelining where she's going. And I believe with that, oh dear Lord, as I listen to this song, we can call it a scene.